Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Brown Box, where we take a record from our own record collection and surprise the other person with the record, talk about it a little, because, sometimes it's something we know, sometimes it's something we don't know. So my name's Ryan Harsh.
Chris LeRoy.
And we'll see what Chris brought, right?
Today's, in my version of the Brown Box, and this is a very, very important one to me.
Okay.
Is because it sort of represents what would drive me to buy a record in the first place. This is one of the greatest album covers of all time.
It is.
A Blodwyn Pig, A Head Rings Out, which I still don't even know what the heck that completely means. But Blodwyn Pig was a spin-off of the guitarist, her first guitarist was Jethro Tull, Mick Abrams, who was really a bluesy guy. And you listen to like This Was album, the early Tull.
Yeah.
It was more, they're playing cat squirrel and bluesy kinds of things. So you're reading songs like Beggar's Farm or something, or there'd be some little weird riff or something, but it was much more almost like an R&B version of Jethro Tull. Then he quits, he moves off, and they became what Jethro Tull was.
Right, Aqualung and all that.
Yeah, which is a whole other gig.
Yeah.
But what Mick Abrams did is what I loved about music of that era.
Sure.
He's an English guy. He loves the blues, and you wouldn't know anything about him. It was me and my friend Bob Jarvis said we would go to Sears or something, and we would have a record thing, and we would just look through the albums, and we didn't know anything about anything. I remember buying Led Zeppelin, the first Led Zeppelin, because it had a Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Not because I knew anything about.
Wow. Okay.
I didn't know who Jimmy Page was. I didn't know. I was just vaguely.
It looked cool.
Yeah, it's just as cool. Knew a little about the Yardbirds, but had no connection to go. Bob said, "Look, it's like a Zeppelin. That's a cool cover." We take the album home, we put it on, and it's like,
what is this?
what have we stumbled into? And Gary, Jarvis' dad, came in and he was listening to his communication breakdown or something, and he was just freaking out. And he just takes the album, he takes it, puts it, and takes off and goes to some party to play this thing. We're like, hey, wait.
He discovered the
secret.
Right,
no, we found out about Led Zeppelin first.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah, we discovered it first. Well, that decided me on the way that I would buy albums, first and foremost, because I liked the cover.
Interesting, yeah.
And I looked at this and I said, Blodwyn, oh, look, it's got a pig. And he's got those glasses and stuff. What the heck is Blodwyn Pig? And then I opened it up.
Nose ring.
He's got a nose ring. And at the back, they got his tail.
Okay,
I love that.
So it's like a continuous cover.
Yeah, it says it was on A&M Records, but, here's they got the story about them and stuff. And then, here's Mick Abrams. And there's Jack Lancaster, who would play two horn instruments at the time, a la,
Roland Kirk.
Roland Kirk.
Yeah, okay.
And, I think they even mentioned Roland Kirk in this thing, but
I bet, yeah.
It was just a cool kind of power blues music that had a kind of jazzy nature to it.
Right.
And then I, found out that there actually was an album before this that was called Getting to This, Blodwyn Pig, which the artwork was awful like Miles Davis
on the corner.
On the corner. Yeah. It's got to be the same dude, but this is for A&M.
Look at that hair on him.
Yeah, and if you go to the Jethro Tull This Was album, and they like powdered their hair to look like they was old, but he still had that hair back then.
Yeah.
So he says, "I'm taking my hair and I'm getting out of this band and I'm starting this cool, bluesy, jazzy, rockin' album."
See what same old lies.
That both of them, they kind of disappeared after these two albums.
Okay.
But that's what was beautiful about music from England.
Yeah.
Is that they would try stuff, and you would have companies that would invest in them for a little bit, and they'd show up and maybe just like a one album wonder or something.
Yeah.
I mean, he made
super
it,
group, you know.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it wasn't even. It was just a spin-off that back then companies would invest in someone who just had a little bit of notoriety.
Yeah.
So they're two really good albums. They're very, very powerful blues music, some slide, quiet acoustic music, and then this kind of blasting, saxophone, dual saxophone thing that it covers a lot of territory. And I listen to this album all the time.
Okay.
Years and years later. And I'm going,
People are like, what are you listening to over here?
yeah. I had Mike Geegan on guitar, Dangerous Guitar, came over and I go, have you ever heard Blodwyn Pig? And it's like, well, who would? No one's going to Blodwyn. Let me put on some Blodwyn
Not
Pig.
the most
for you.
commercial.
No,
name
but it's
for a band.
it's a terrible name.
Yeah.
But they have a great album cover.
And I noticed on this one too, like they talk about the songs.
Oh yeah.
There's a little commentary about the songs.
Yeah, what
Like,
each song
this
is.
a very heavy blues song right here.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, this features a heavy brass sound, two tenors, a baritone, and a soprano to be exact.
Exactly.
I mean, they're telling you what's going on.
Yeah,
this
and
is when you
that's
can
Mick-
sit and read the liner
Exactly. And it
notes.
says Mick Abrams talking to you about his album.
Yeah.
And there was just something about that handoff that music wasn't so serious or maybe so expensive that a company they'd test the waters with the band and they'd come out a couple. And
Right.
I'm sure there's not a third. Well, it wasn't because I was trying to find like even a CD version of this and it was really hard to track it down.
Right, and I wonder how he felt about Toll getting big in the '70s. Yeah, I mean, and I think if I have my music trivia correct, he left the band and they played that Rock and Roll Circus.
Oh, okay.
And who was a guitar player, who was a standing guitar player for Jethro Tull on that.
Was it the Black Sabbath dude?
Yes, Tony Iommi was a very
Yes.
short-lived guitar player for that, for
Right.
filling in for this guy, I guess.
Right.
Then, right?
Because he didn't have hair like that.
Right. Yeah.
Says you're out.
Another great guitar player.
Oh,
right?
he's wonderful.
Yeah.
I just like that everyone had hair like
Yeah.
that.
And they didn't care. It's just
No.
like, yeah.
You're supposed to do that.
Right.
But it's just the reason I did it as a brown box thing is that it's sort of like the culture of how albums used to be or how I used to feel about. I just liked that his name was Mick. And he was from England. I go, this has got to be good.
I used to think it was just Mick Jagger, and then
Huh?
you're like, what, you got Mick Jones, and
Yeah.
you got Mick Taylor, and
And
you
you
got
got-
I
you
mean,
got
all
Mick
these-
Abrams.
It's like Mick's a cool name.
It's a cool name.
You know
and
that name over here.
You're bound to be a rocker. It's sort of like there's little pieces of time to where, being a kid and just being all about album covers as much as the music that was inside.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, I'd like, maybe because I gotta like this album, the cover's so good.
Yeah.
but
I can't take it back.
yeah, I can't really, or you
Yeah,
can scratch it and take it
uh-huh.
back. This album's scratched.
Yeah.
Bob Jarvis that took back like all now these famous John Lennon, the wedding album or something.
Yeah.
He gets it and takes it home. This is terrible. Steps on it and takes it back. It's like, no, he should have hung on to that.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's worth a couple.
it's worth a bit.
couple
But
dollars.
in both these albums, you kind of have the spirit of what it was to be a kid,
Right.
teenager in that era, and just have fun perusing stuff. I mean, vinyl's big back again.
Yeah.
People,
Yeah, of course.
But they'll charge you $500,
Yeah.
for a new album. I probably bought this for. Well, if it was a white front, it was $3.02.
And you're not going to the store anymore. I was at the record store today, and I was like, I wasn't going to buy an album.
Right.
I wasn't even in that mind frame.
Right.
Like this is $30.
Right.
What if I buy it and it's horrible? It's $30. I'm not getting, Rhino's not going to return this.
No.
They'll be like, good luck. Like you'll sell it on eBay or Discogs.
Yeah.
Like this is a time period, the luxury of just being like, let's check out the cover. It tells the story.
Yeah.
Let's take a gamble here, and if not, I can just give this to someone else.
Right.
You can't do that anymore.
Or if you go to my house, you kept it.
Yeah.
It's in my garage.
Sure.
Every
Yeah.
album
Or
that
they're all over there.
no one ever took back.
Right.
But there is that time, and I kind of feel for people who have to just do this on a phone or just hear things in the streaming thing with a little, postage
Yeah.
stamp thing. is I can see why people are getting back into vinyl. I wish it was at a price range that folks would be able to experiment more and say, hey, look, there's an album with the pig on the cover. It's mine.
Yeah,
I'm
check
taking
it
this.
out.
I'm
Yeah.
taking this. And these got a cousin. I'm taking
this
this.
is crazy. Yeah.
And I would work at me and my friend Tom Greer worked at this. We would be cleaning real estate offices, and we were the worst custodians ever, but the quickest ones. And we could go through and do an office in like 7 minutes.
So
and we would
efficient.
just run,
Right.
and just you spill half as much stuff as when we
Right.
went in.
Yeah.
We're out, get our paycheck, and we would go to Gillette's Records in Riverside,
Okay.
and I spent every cent
Yeah.
on albums, and I'd come back out with all
You
these
just be
albums.
listening. Yeah.
And it was the best time of my life,
Yeah.
because I'd come home and I get to hear this stuff and look at this fun cover.
A lot of times you feel like you're in on some big secret.
Yeah.
That's how I still feel like music I get turned on to as
Yeah.
well. Sometimes,
Yeah.
or just stuff that not a lot of people listen to.
Yeah.
It's like this is a big. It's like I'm in a big on a big secret.
Yeah,
like Guided by Voices or something. And nobody knows about this stuff.
Yeah.
This is great.
I know that part's still true.
Yeah.
That people are still
Yeah.
great music fans, and
Kids especially. Younger
and they
kids.
love their secrets. They love the stuff that they feel that they've discovered, and there's so much to discover. So you
Yeah.
can't say this era was wonderful and our modern age is terrible, because
Right.
there's music and there's music
Very
and there's
subjective.
music.
Yeah.
But if you were my
Right. I
age
mean, you got the album. I mean,
and
come
you
on.
saw this,
What are you thinking? And I don't know what that's in his mouth, but I'm sure it's not.
that's true.
Yeah, it's.
It's
he's having a good
it's
time.
Medicinal
That pig,
purposes.
yeah.
It's a medicinal pig. But that's my entry into
Okay.
the brown box today. It's just the spirit. Be a pig for music. Go out there and enjoy everything and get as many secrets as humanly possible.
Absolutely. I love that philosophy. And thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you again in another edition of Brown Box. Thank you so much.